It's the final part of Premier League tonight. We're talking about your best and worst away grounds in just a couple of moments. But let's have a little look at what's coming up this week. Astana up against Celtic on Tuesday from 4 in the second leg of their Champions League playoff. Celtic are through, aren't they? Liverpool with a bit of work to do at home to Hoffenheim on Wednesday from 7. Then next weekend, BT Sport score, followed by Manchester United up against Leicester as the Reds look to make it 3 wins on the bounce. And then Premier League tonight, next Saturday, live from Old Trafford from 8 o'clock. OK, 3-word match reports. Brighton fan Ollie says really tough start. You just get used to life in the Premier League, don't you, as a promoted club so quickly. Or, as a Norwich fan, I know all about that. Tony, Liverpool fan, we beat Palace, exclamation mark. Kane said a clean sheet, a Liverpool fan as well. And Apov, Tony Martial effect. Thanks for all of the comments tonight using hashtag PL tonight. Keep them coming. In a moment, we're going to talk about best and worst away grounds. But first, let's hear what the fans have got to say.
I think I'd have to pick Upton Park as my favourite away ground.
Selhurst Park, that's always a good trip.
My main favourite one has to be easily Griffith Park over at Brentford. Terrace End, you've got to love a Terrace End. Pub on every corner of the ground.
And I love going to West Brom. There's something special about that place, a real football venue.
Proper old school Crystal Palace.
My favourite away ground as a Manchester United fan has to be Villa Park. I think we may have had more memories and more great moments at Villa Park than Aston Villa fans have had.
As a Liverpool fan, I think Carrow Road, the home of Norwich, has got to be my favourite away ground. We just always do well there.
Hopefully some away fans will pick this beautiful stadium, St James's Park.
You've got to hand it to the Geordies. They're a passionate crowd, they know the football, they get behind the team. I love the fact that the ground's in the middle of the city so you can have some refreshments after.
Wembley's going to be a fantastic away day for anyone that goes down there to play Tottenham, and to go to the National Stadium and see our teams play, especially Newcastle, would be an absolutely fantastic experience.
Brilliant. Thanks for all of those. It's different for you three, you see, because you never used to go and watch the games like as an away supporter. St James's Park, the atmosphere is brilliant, but you're so high up, it takes you till about the 65th minute just to get your breath back. Carrow Road, you never liked playing there. It was hostile, wasn't it? You were
guaranteed 3 points, wasn't it? Yeah, guaranteed 3 points.
I love that. Lovely day in the sun. Nice. Lovely.
Nice.
Got fed up because we kept winning there, but never mind.
Suarez, man.
Yeah.
I felt so sorry for John Ruddy. OK, right. Best and worst away grounds. Loads of them coming in. Dan, Craven Cottage. Classic ground, classic location. Nice. Huh? Yep. Special football ground. Charlie Blake, Stoke away is the best. Went to a curry house after Chelsea got beat 3-2. Bring your own booze. Best day of my life at Stoke. Should we?
Easily, please.
Shall we?
Where is it?
Charlie, send us the address. We'll be there in 5 minutes' time. Go on then. Best and worst. What was it for you? Let's start with you. The best play. Where did you love to go and play football?
I used to love playing at Everton, Man United, all the big games, Barcelona.
Just because of the size of the goal bar, don't throw Barcelona.
Well, it was nice to go and play there.
What a show off.
It was nice. It was nice to go and play and win there. It was fine. But the bigger the place, the more hostile the atmosphere, the more I used to, really thrive on it.
Rise to the challenge.
I enjoyed the Nou Camp, but playing in the Premier League was without doubt 3 Point Lane was always a nice one. It's a shame it's gone forever. The worst would have been West Ham. They hated me there with an absolute passion. They just did. This monkeys chant. They kept
they made masks and stuff, didn't they?
Listen, it just made me play even better. I had my best performances whenever I played against West Ham. I actually loved it. I can't remember losing again.
What about your family and stuff? Like I guess they were in the crowd.
I never invited them along. They didn't buy any of the T-shirts that were on sale. Anyway.
Did you get a percentage of those T-shirts? That's the main thing.
No, it was all black market stuff.
Trademark.
What was the T-shirts?
I've no idea. I never.
You never bought one? No, I don't blame you actually. But that never affected you.
Not at all.
It's very personal, that, isn't it? It's not about your football. It's not about your club.
Listen, you just have to take it what comes your way and concentrate on the football, and that matters. The most important thing was to win and get 3 points. Old Trafford was I won at Old Trafford 5 times during my career, and I don't think many players would have done that. Yeah. So for some reason, I always enjoyed going there. But I had a fantastic team in front of me, the likes of Vieira, and who did all that work for us. It was quite easy then when you went there with really good players.
Go on, Stephen.
I agree with the lads. I used to thrive off the banter from the terraces, so it was always Goodison and Old Trafford for me. I used to love going there, especially if you got a win as well. It'd be a great day.
What about your families?
What about them?
Did they never get affected when you were getting abuse on the terrace or whatever? Or was that just something that they just learned to live with? Or
No choice, have you? Just got to get on with it as a family and yourself. But I used to thrive off it. I felt like I used to play better. It used to charge me up even more. I never used to enjoy the new camp, though, Mac. I never used to get a kick. I used to get all 3 touches of the ball in 90 minutes. Didn't enjoy that one.
Really? Okay.
I didn't like playing at Crystal Palace.
Why not? Just difficult to get to, or?
Yeah, Croydon was miles away from Liverpool. It took about 5 hours down the M6.
You know, I remember as an away fan, you'd get there and they used to go to the supermarket next door and get those tiny little stubbies and sell them for like £3 a bottle, and you're like, that's not acceptable.
I don't think the old den was very welcoming. Looking back,
that was the magic of it, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the good part. Yeah.
Do you miss those sort of old grounds a bit in some ways? Like when we do the Europa League and you go to these sort of slightly crumbling old grounds, they're a bit more atmospheric than where Chelsea will be playing football in 5 years, where Spurs will be next season.
No, I'd have to disagree.
You like all the new modern?
I just think the Premier League, the atmospheres in the Premier League is amazing, and when foreign teams play in our grounds, they think it's the greatest atmosphere ever.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
I think it's. I mean, our stadium now, of course, it came out of that horrible disaster at Hillsborough, but our stadium now is probably the best in Europe, if not the world. I mean, and
they're always full. They're always full. Every game in the Premier League's full. You watch like Serie A or La Liga, and it's only really the big games where the stadium.
And they don't have many away fans in places like La Liga, so they can't generate the same atmosphere as like we had today or last week at Brighton. They're very, very special types of atmosphere. You don't get that in La Liga.
And we're not going to sit here and say that everything is perfect in the world of football, but I don't think we celebrate the Premier League quite enough. We've got, we're a tiny island with the best football product in the world, with full stadiums, with safe stadiums, thousands of children here today, completely safe place to come and watch a really good game of football with the biggest stars in the world.
And the games at the weekend to come at Wembley, Chelsea, Tottenham, that's another experience.
Tottenham, let's just quickly sort of touch on Tottenham and Wembley. How much of a hindrance for them this season is that?
Well, I think if they can fill it, they've had experience and it hasn't gone well before. Hopefully they've learned from that. But if they can fill it and get big numbers in there and get them behind the team, I don't see why they can't use it as a positive.
I think if they're starting to really personalise Wembley with the Tottenham regalia.
It's inspirational, though, for the opponent, isn't it?
Well,
Wembley?
no, it shouldn't be. If there's 75,000 Tottenham fans screaming at the top of voice, that should terrify the opposition.
We did this at Arsenal. We played at Wembley, and it was very, very difficult. But they can almost finish Chelsea's season. If they can, that'd be 2 defeats for Chelsea on the bounce if Spurs can do it. So they've got to go into it, turn it into a home straight away. A good result will do that for them.
I'm not sure it finishes the season.
Finishes the season after 2 games.
It's 2 defeats for Chelsea.
Doesn't mean the season's over.
We'll leave them to carry on talking. Just to let you know that the WTA semi-finals from Cincinnati. Follow us right here on BT Sport 1. We'll leave you with the ups and downs from all of the fans across the country today. And we'll leave you with this word of wisdom. Reach for the stars. If you can't, just touch the ceiling. Good night.
Back-to-back 4-0 wins, that'll do nicely.
Comfortable win, nice to get a clean sheet and in positive goal difference after last week's loss.
When you think of Bournemouth, you think of fast attacking football. You think of a team that will score more than the opposition. They might let in 3, but they'll probably score 4. At the moment, we don't even look like we're going to take 4 shots.
Today was a wake-up call.
We are still quite far behind some clubs, and it's going to be a long season if we don't address the problems that we've seen today.
Not as disappointed as I was last week. Much better performance against Liverpool.
Capoue with a screamer towards the end to send the away fans wild. 3 points, come on you Horns.
Can we say joint top of the league? Boy.